Thank you very much indeed. We should be on air now. I'm very grateful if any of our regulars that listen in can confirm once you can hear us loud and clear here from the EBB Stadium. We are just 8 minutes away from kick-off. I think we're probably just a few seconds away from going live. 8 minutes from kick-off here at the EBB. Who's going to be the first to let me know that we can be heard around the world, if not via DAZN today, because they got their own commentator. Alongside me is Steve Gibbs. We'll gently get going. Can you hear me okay?
I can't, no.
Okay.
I can't hear myself either.
Okay, something not quite right there.
Nope.
Is that better or not?
That's better.
Yeah, okay. Might be just a loose
Can you
wire.
hear me?
Not through
I'm not
here,
sure
no.
that I'm...
I can't actually, no. So let's think. What are we doing here? Are you plugged in? So you are, yeah.
Hello. That's better.
You're with us, I don't know.
I am.
It's the old switch it on and switch it off trick.
It always works.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Lindsay, Mike. I'm going to say that Lindsay just beat you. And thank you very much, Julie Rapson, who also has messaged to say that she can hear us loud and clear. First time message, I think. Thank you, Julie, and thanks for tuning in, whoever you are, wherever you are around the country, around the world. It's the EBB, slightly later than usual on a Saturday afternoon. 5:30 kickoff. We're 6 minutes away, so we'll get going pretty quickly. Sunny afternoon, nice breeze, 20-21 degrees, probably dropping as we speak, and a healthy crowd in. Certainly the East Bank looks well populated. Steve Gibbs alongside me as always.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a strange afternoon. A revised schedule, not just for the players but for everyone here. At 2 o'clock you start thinking, I need to be somewhere, and then suddenly you realise there's still 3.5 hours to kick off. So yeah, but hopefully that won't disrupt the flow of the entertainment before us, and entertainment is the operative word in both ends of the pitch. Aldershot Town are the great entertainers, and yeah, we'll wait to see against, is it the irresistible force of Aldershot Town's attack, or not quite the immovable object of the Brackley defence, but they're very stingy in their defensive work. Keep it tight. Frustrated Carlisle for over 80 minutes during the week, and it was only when one of the Brackley substitutes wasn't quite up to the pace of the game, he got caught out by that man Regan Linney, and in that split second the game was decided. It's those fine margins, and patience will be the watchword for Aldershot Town this evening. Brackley, it's probably in the modern footballing parlance called a low block. Get plenty of bodies behind the ball, patience, quick passing, spread the play, use the full width of the pitch, see if they can pull this well organised, the master ranks of the Brackley defence out of shape, and then you might be able to get a chance, because they do give very, very little away.
Aldershot will start the afternoon in 14th place, Brackley 15th, separated only by goal difference. Brackley's is 0 and Aldershot's refreshingly is +5. They've scored 20, they've conceded 15. They're the top scorers in the top 7 leagues of English football. I think Chorley meant to look at their final score. They'd scored 3 today, which takes them to 19. I'm just going to double check if they did get any more, if they did add. They didn't, so I think Aldershot remain, even before kick-off, the top scorers in the top 7 divisions of English football. And the prize for the winners today, Steve, in terms of the league table, is they'll go up to 10th place. Not so much really about the tables at the minute, but they'll go to within a point of the playoffs, and that will cement what has to be considered as a good start for either club. Particularly impressive if it's Brackley that go on to do it. They're actually the nearest club to where I live in St Neots. They're 43 miles away, so that'll be my one and only home game this
game of the season,
later on in the season. But yeah, great to see them, and what a story for those who haven't followed it. year after year after year unsuccessful in the playoffs in the National League North. I think it's 7 years out of 8. And then last year on the final day, they prevailed to win the title. Thank you. Here come the teams at the EBB. Early evening kick-off. Sun still shining. Aldershot led out by Theo Widrington, who not only comes back into the team today to replace Cameron Hargreaves, but takes the armband off him as well. Shots in their red home shirts, blue shorts and red socks. And Brackley in a yellow shirt with diagonal thin black pinstripes, black shorts and yellow socks. And they're led out by Gareth Dean. And we'll run through your Aldershot Town side, their starting 11 today, which has got 2 changes from the midweek draw at Truro. Marcus Dewhurst, red card rescinded correctly, of course. He takes his place in goal. Back 3 is Charlie Penman, making a home debut on loan from Brighton. Ben Jackson also making a home debut, having started the first game of the season at Altrincham, but had to leave the field of play with an injury. And James Claridge. And then across the middle, left to right, Ryan Hill, Dayan Tetek, Theo Widrington and Archie Taylor. And then Josh Barrett, 7 assists already, just the 1 goal. Playing behind Kwame Thomas and Tristan Abraham. Brackley line up in a similar formation, but we expect to play in a pretty different way. Johnny Maxted in goal, Zach Lilly, Gareth Dean, the skipper, and Kyle Morrison, the back 3. Haynes, Price, Byrne and Little across the middle, left to right. And then Morgan Roberts, briefly an Aldershot Town loanee during his time at Banbury, I think, behind Matt Lowe and Connor Hall. Some very experienced players. Perhaps the oldest average age in the National League, Brackley.
It is.
Confirmed by Steve. The captains are totting up at the moment and will shortly get underway. Steve, just a short point on Brackley. Through the middle of the team, Gareth Dean, Shane Byrne, Matt Lowe. Almost 1,000 appearances between them for Brackley. Continuity, experience, and nous.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, in spades. And you're right, their ascension to the National League is long overdue. Very much welcome to the National League to them, but they're not just here to make up the numbers. They've made a really positive start, as you've already highlighted. They can go top 10 this evening, and yeah, they pack the midfield, difficult to break down. Probably a bit of a contrast. Aldershot Town, almost kamikaze, free scoring football. Brackley keep it tight. None of their games have had more than 3 goals in them so far this season. They will think that a point here this afternoon would be a fantastic return. Could they break with type and go for the win?
And we're underway here at the EBB. Thank you, Steve. Aldershot kick in towards the High Street end in the first half. Brackley in possession, just inside the Aldershot half. Ball down the right side. Can it be kept in? Yes, it can. By Matt Lowe, and then a cross attempted, cut out behind. Immediately inside the first 23 seconds, the visitors have got themselves a corner at the East Bank end.
Yeah, really positive start. Probably puts a lie to all my pre-match. Well, they'll keep it tight. No, they've got a corner, and it's Ryan Haynes. Brilliant left foot, will go across to take it.
Certainly will. It's going to be a left-footed in swing up, and breezy afternoon. Take a while for the players to get used to that. In it comes, headed away by Archie Taylor in the centre of the 18-yard box, and a referee, Richie Watkins, blowing for an infringement anyway, so free kick, goal kick, whatever you want to call it. Marcus Dewhurst to take, and the most important thing, Steve, he's there to take it.
Yeah, and quite rightly so. I think everybody who was there at the Truro City Stadium, everyone who was watching on TV, everyone who was listening to you on commentary would have known that he got the ball, and he got the ball cleanly. Absolutely, in the end, the right decision.
Here's Connor Hall holding the ball up, plays it down the line, coming together between Theo Widrington and the number 10 Morgan Roberts. Ball ends up in touch. It'll be a throw in to Brackley. Brackley known, as you say, as that very dour side, don't concede a lot, don't score a lot, but they might like coming into a game like this. They might feel their own shackles are off, and they might well feel confident that they're going to take Aldershot on at their own game. They've certainly started with a bit of impetus. Here's a ball spread out to the left side, taken beautifully on his chest by Ryan Hill. 4 goals already and 2 assists for the season, 3 of those from the penalty spot. He's in possession on the left touchline. He goes back now to Dayan Tetek. Tetek exchanges passes with Barrett, gets it back, almost loses it. Now he exchanges passes with Theo Widrington, and then eventually Aldershot through their left centre back, Charlie Penman, on loan from Brighton, making his home debut, and of course Ben Jackson as well. So big afternoon for Aldershot Town's back 3, and once again, with the injury to Will Nightingale, they got 3 young players in there, which is how they ended last season. Going to update our radio listeners, Steve, so bear with us. Okay, have you come to us already? Thank you very much indeed, Carl. Yeah, just almost 3 minutes in, no chances at either end yet, just one corner to Brackley, who've started the game with plenty of impetus, but Aldershot just knocking it around now and settling in to the game. Fascinating match-up between the country's top scorers and one of the meanest defences already in this year's National League and last year's National League North. So, yep, we'll update you again, I'm sure, before you go off air, but currently 3.5 minutes gone, 0-0. Tetek into Kwame Thomas, once again playing in a mask. Ball's fed out to the left side. Penman gives it to Tetek, and then he tries to give it back, but it's cut out by Brackley, picked up by Matt Lowe. Lowe plays it off of Ben Jackson into touch, throw in to Brackley. 10-15 yards inside Aldershot's half, but they take it from the halfway line. The referee doesn't penalise them from taking it for the wrong place, especially as they had no advantage from it. And they're playing the ball now into the middle, down the right hand side, and Charlie Penman will head into touch. Ben Jackson, of course, came off the bench in that chaotic end to the game down at Truro, and was the player fouled for the penalty, which James Henry tucked away for the 2-2 draw. Aldershot finishing the game with technically 9 men, aka 8 or 8.5, depending on what fit state you thought Will Nightingale was in. Here's Brackley on the attack, ball headed across the area, held up, back to goal by Morgan Roberts, sends it back out to Haynes on the left side, back to Roberts. Brackley enjoying plenty of possession in this first 4.5 minutes, and then, well, that wand of a left foot that you talked about, Steve, of Haynes, sends the ball straight behind the goal at the East Bank end. Commentator's curse.
Classic commentator's curse, but yeah, he scored a brilliant free kick with that left foot against Rochdale already this season. Lots of experience, lots of quality. Also a long throw that Aldershot Town will need to be wary of as well. But one of the players that has come into the starting lineup, or back into the starting lineup after injury this afternoon for the visitors. And Charlie Penman, of course, a home debut in the red and blue, but he's already played at the Ebb Stadium this season in the National League Cup for Brighton and Hove Albion. Another, like Will Armitage last season, another of those players that Aldershot Town have seen in competitive close quarters in that competition.
Here's Matt Lowe holding the ball up on the right side, goes back to Tyler Little, who volleys it first time forward. Ben Jackson's there first, and he outwits his marker, which is Connor Hall, and then sends it down the left side towards Kwame Thomas. Good battle between Kwame Thomas and Carl Morrison. Morrison wins on that occasion. Kwame Thomas, of course, still playing in that mask. He received a facial injury in the dying seconds at Gateshead in the move that led to James Claridge sweeping home what would have been a 4-3 winner, but for the fact that it was disallowed for an infringement, we understand. Aldershot probably overall have not had the rub with key refereeing decisions in the opening 7 games of the season, but nevertheless they've scored 20 goals, they've picked up 8 points, and they start this game in 14th place with the opportunity to go up to 10th if they can win. Good 1-2 on halfway for Brackley. Morgan Roberts running forward, plays the ball forward. It looks a little heavy, and it does go all the way through to Marcus Dewhurst, who's quick off his line. Yeah, last time I said that,
it resulted in a red card.
Exactly.
But yeah, Morgan Roberts, probably
good
Brackley's
ball
key.
down the right from Tetek. Sorry, Steve, to find Abrahams. He's up against the number 19, Zach Lilly. Ball's in touch, throw-in's taken quickly, and referee says, hold on, I want a word. I want to check Lilly's okay, and you can make your point now. Sorry. Yeah,
Morgan Roberts, one of Brackley's key attacking threats, probably the creative live wire of this team, playing in that fluid number 10 role. Always shows for the ball, good creativity. Aldershot Town will need to be wary of his ability to unlock defences.
There's around about 70, give or take 10 or 15 Brackley fans here. Understandable that with the evening kickoff and the game live on DAZN that not too many have travelled. Here's Archie Taylor on the right side, goes back to Theo Widgerton, sweeps in a first time ball. Thomas doesn't get there. Hill picks it up the far side of the penalty area, switches it inside to Barrett. Barrett offers both ways, then goes back to Tetek, gets the ball back from Tetek. Then he sends it forward to Kwame Thomas, looking for a ball into his feet, just slipped it in the channel past him, and it goes all the way through to Johnny Maxted, another now very experienced goalkeeper as well, who took over from the chap who retired, whose name's escaping me in the moment, but was in goal for many years for Brackley.
Yeah, Gregory, who signed from Boston in the summer, started the season, but now he's played the last couple of games, and 31 now, lots of experience, good, solid, safe pair of hands at this level. Danny Lewis was the guy whose name I couldn't grasp, who I met and interviewed for the NL Full-Time Podcast a few years ago after one of Brackley's National League North playoff games. They won that game, but then went on to lose in the next stage, and they'd done it a different way. Of course, last year they just went and won the title. Oh, that's a push from Ryan Hill. Cheap free kick given away. Good positioning from Morgan Roberts, who had a frustrating, very short spell here. He did.
Came with really good recommendation, but it just didn't happen for him in terms of pitch time or the moments he was on the pitch for the shots.
No, I think in the end he was recalled by Swindon largely because of a lack of game time. So
that's right. Swindon had signed him off Banbury, hadn't they?
Yeah, but he started the season really well with Banbury, and as I said, a real live wire in that creative attacking midfield role.
9 minutes gone, 0-0. Here's Haynes swinging in the free kick to the far post, and there's a leap at the back post and a header, and just need to confirm who it was as he runs back, but he got up at the far post. It was indeed Zach Lilly, but I think he got his head on it, but nowhere near enough, and credit to the Aldershot Town marker that stopped him. Here's a ball forward, one in the air by Gareth Dean, sent forward, one in the air by Theo Widgerton, and then cleared into touch by Lilly, who's technically in the 10th minute had the first effort, albeit off target, at the far post. Theo Widgerton arrives late there, no free kick. Well done the referee, let him play go on. Archie Taylor scampering forward. He looks for Abrahams, who was surely offside, doesn't find him. Brackley have got it, and they ping a ball down the left channel. Connor Hall's after that. Ben Jackson gets there first, and I thought Connor Hall might have made contact with him, but nothing given. Just the throw in to Brackley, and well, we expected similar formations, but a clash of styles, and there's not real evidence of that clash of styles at this point, Steve.
No, it's a really positive, almost enterprising start from the visitors as Theo Widgerton gets gingerly back to his feet, felt the effects of a challenge, possibly slightly winded, a blow to his midriff.
Missed 5 starts, didn't he, in the end? 3 that he was suspended for.
Yeah, couldn't get back in the team, and I think rightly so. As good as Theo can be on his day, you can't change a winning team.
No, Cameron, Hargreaves and Tetek were superb in those 4-0 and 5-1 wins, and pretty decent after that too in the draws at Gateshead and Truro. In comes a long throw, headed away by Archie Taylor, and he's not the tallest player, but I've noticed, a bit like Glover and 1 or 2 others, he's got a lot of spring in his leap, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. All round his game has been hugely impressive.
He's been a revelation so far since getting his opportunity through the injury to Tyler Frost, and then I think Max Mullins started 1 or 2 games well, didn't he? Here's Brackley holding the ball up by the goal line. Taylor's back there, he's won it again, and he's going to play it forward. I think that's going to go over Kwame Thomas, who leaps anyway, Dean sends the ball into the path of Lilly. Abrahams arrives at the last minute. Big game, I think, today for Abrahams. For me, he could have had no complaints today if Hadi Gandor had been rotated in for him. Hadi's made an impact every time he's come on. And Abraham's doing okay, but I think there's more there. And Aldershot have got to unlock it. Here, they play the ball into his feet. He holds it up. He's strong, and that is a good part of his play, that's for sure. Ball's pinged across the pitch. Tetek slightly overhit. Tetek presumed it was for somebody beyond him, but the person beyond him was called the touchline. It's into touch. It's a throw into Brackley. We've had 12 minutes just over. It's 0-0, and the game really notable in the first 12 minutes, just for the fact that Brackley look equally as front-footed as do Aldershot. Haynes is going to throw the ball down the left channel now. One in the air by Claridge. Claridge is going to come forward and win it again, a second and a third time, and then there's a high foot from Morgan Roberts up towards his chest, at least, if we're being kind to Roberts, who didn't like the fact that the free kick was given. Aldershot have taken it too quickly, or the moving ball. Yeah,
it was a moving ball, and now
the referee saying it's also from the wrong place.
About 2 inches out of place.
Haven't done the stats on Richie Watkins. They will be available, but 2, 3, 4 games in, there's not a lot to draw from them, really, is there? Here's Aldershot playing it forward, and Gaz Dean holds off Kwame Thomas quite comfortably. He might have been around a number of years, the 35-year-old, might have made over 400 appearances. He might be one of 2 or 3 players that remain from that 2018 FA Trophy Wembley squad. But he doesn't look that age, nor does Matt Lowe, does he?
No, they've still got loads of experience, loads of nous, just know when to commit, when to hold off. I thought initially that he was going to have to play that ball, but he just ushered it out of play. Really good use. You don't need to be the quickest or the strongest necessarily, it's just knowing to be where in the right place at the right time.
Goal kick's taken, headed up in the air by Brackley, comes down to a Brackley player, and then Brackley even, and then Aldershot play it forward. We're going to update our radio listeners. Yeah, thank you, Carl. 14 minutes have elapsed now. I had to wait 2 seconds for that. It's 0-0, and a pretty even start. No sign of the dour defensive Brackley side we were expecting. They've been equally as front-footed as Aldershot in the opening 14-15 minutes. They've actually had the only real attempt on goal. It was a header at the back post from Zach Lilly, very weak and wide, but nothing in it, and a relatively uncontroversial opening 15 minutes here with very little in the way of goal mouth chances. A bit of a stalemate at the minute. I'm sure that will change, it always does at the EBB, but 14 and a half minutes gone, 0-0. Ball's in touch now in the right back position for Aldershot. They've got a throw in. Huge clearance down the line. One in the air by Gareth Dean. And Zach Lilly is penalised, I think, for holding Kwame Thomas there, was he?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was a good aerial challenge, but yeah, Kwame is never going to be backwards in coming forwards, but I think Lilly was marginally the aggressor.
Ball played out to the left side. Hill leaps, but not enough. It goes into touch. There's a thumbs up. Everybody appreciates the idea, but Aldershot have lost possession. It's a throw into Brackley in the right back position, halfway inside the Aldershot half, to be taken, I think, by Tyler Little.
Having said everyone appreciated the idea, I'm not sure that Tommy Widrington did. He's just given several players a bit of an earful of don't do that again.
Football's all about opinions, and when it comes to selecting the side, the only one that really matters is Tommy Widrington. But Steve, after those long away trips to Gateshead and Truro, might you have made more than 2 changes today? We'll come back to you on that, because Matt Lowe's making his way into the right side of the penalty area and he's looking to square it to the far post. Archie Taylor does brilliantly to get up and head it clear. It's going to come back though from Morgan Roberts, who's shaping to go one way then the other. Squared across the goal, cut out by Dewhurst, positioned himself well, has gathered the ball, and he rolls it out to Tetek, who's got a bit of a space in front of him, and Aldershot feeling that they want to get the attack going quickly before Brackley can find any shape. Here Taylor had made the run down the right side, but Abrahams goes inside to Theo Widrington. He finds Josh Barrett. assesses his options, rolls it into the path of Penman, who is going to go forward this time. I noticed a lot on Wednesday that he was blocked off and went backwards. Now it's squared through Barrett to James Claridge, sends the ball in, headed away by Gareth Dean, or behind by Gareth Dean, and then hooked up in the air by Morrison. Morrison then heads it forward. Aldershot looking to react, to get onto it, but it's played forward towards Connor Hall. Good header from Penman into the path of Tetek. Does his 180, maybe even 270 degree swivel that he's so good at. Feeds it out to the right to Claridge. Claridge to Taylor. Taylor into the feet of Abrahams, and then played forward, cut out by Brackley, but won back by Taylor. What a lovely young player he is. He's got it again, back to goal. He's going to work it out to the right side, is he now? Aldershot with Barrett. He'll roll it to Taylor. So busy, so full of ideas and initiative, Taylor. Oh, and he's looking to get back on that, and he's being held off by Haynes, but the officials haven't spotted it. They clear the ball forward, only as far as Claridge. Aldershot penning Brackley in here. Jackson, Tetek, Theo Widgerton in the centre circle. Over to the left to Penman. Penman to Hill. Hill takes the ball on the front foot, cuts inside. He'll now square it again to Claridge. Aldershot just trying to work a man over somewhere if they can. Here's a ball forward towards Abrahams, who goes down a bit too easily according to the referee on the edge of the penalty area. Brackley clear to touch. A very calm referee. Doesn't want to be the centre of attention, which is often an issue for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's letting the game flow as much as he can.
Yeah, he is.
Held up by Abrahams, toes it to Taylor on the touchline, back to Barrett. Forward run from Widrington, gets the ball back now from Barrett. Can he get the cross in? Sends it in, edge of the area, cleared up and away, only as far as Barrett. Barrett believes he's got contact on the edge of the box, but the referee again gives nothing. Very slight if it was. Ball played to Ryan Hill on the left side. Aldershot with an extended, prolonged period of possession and pressure. Didn't mean to throw all those peas in. Here's Widrington down the right side to Barrett. He's in the area, pulls it back, and it's cleared away. Bodies on the line. Ryan Hill goes to ground, can't win it cleanly. It's won by Shane Byrne. He drifts it into the path of Little on the right side. Little to Matt Lowe, cut out by Ben Jackson. Good defending by him. Aldershot a little bit exposed after that prolonged period of pressure. And now a belated and delayed yellow card is shown to Matt Lowe, is it? I think he's shown it. He's run over and shown it, I think, to Matt Lowe.
Well, he was pointing in the general direction either of Charlie Penman or Matt Lowe. It was a little bit of an ambiguous point. I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, whatever the incident was, it was a couple of minutes before, but okay. The throw is taken, I think low, but balls into the area, snaffled by Dewhurst. The point being that Aldershot continued possession after there was a foul by Brackley, so it must have been Matt Lowe who's picked up that early yellow card, or relatively early.
Yeah, it was just the referee's very deliberate point was in the general direction of either Penman or Lowe, but as you say, I think Penman hadn't been involved in the game.
Dean wins it in the air, sends it forward. Claridge wins it in the air. Theo Widrington jumps a bit early, he's beaten by Roberts. There's a good touch from Lowe, but he can only find Claridge. And Gav Cowan, the Brackley manager, former Telford manager as well, if I remember right. He's doing a lot of pointing and gesticulating to his team at the moment. Aldershot with possession in midfield with Tetek, finds Barrett, plays it forward, it's cut out, but Archie Taylor's onto the loose ball, wins it, but his touch is heavy, and it's won by Brackley. Shane Byrne cleverly positions himself, cleverly touches. He's not going to be doing too many sprints, is he? But he just gets it, gives it, and then stays available. Here's Penman winning it in the air at the other end. Tetek jumps, can't win it. Ben Jackson wins the ball, or has the ball, plays it to Tetek. His pass to Claridge is a little bit underweight, so Claridge takes no chances and goes back to Dewhurst. Dewhurst gives it back now to Claridge. A little bit of that early evening low sunshine, probably still here and there in the face of Dewhurst. Ball up to Abrahams, who comes short, rolls it into the path of Penman. We'll give our radio listeners one more update this evening before they go off air. 0-0 here, 21.5 minutes gone. That to come. Tetek out to Barrett. Barrett's going up against Byrne. He's going to look to go past him. Sends a ball into the area, but it's easily cut out by Zach Lilly. Lilly plays it forward, up towards Matt Lowe, who's holding it up. Well marshalled by Claridge. He goes back to Byrne. Byrne plays it forward. Oh, lovely take from Archie Taylor. Takes the ball on the full. Rolls it into the path of Barrett. Barrett sends it into the far post. Still 0-0. Ball's headed away only as far as Tristan Abrahams. Aldershot on the attack here. Halfway through the first half. Goalless. Ryan Hill sends it into the area. Foot up. And it is 0-0. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I heard you. Absolutely. Yeah, 0-0. 22 minutes gone. Thank you. Okay, the goalkeeper's down for Brackley, and it remains goalless. 22 minutes and 22 seconds in. I just delivered the perfect update into radio, and it was so seamless they didn't think I'd heard them, but never mind. That'll be the last time we update them for the afternoon, as they're going off air in 7 minutes, I would suspect. Didn't see what happened to the goalkeeper, Johnny Maxted.
No,
Steve, did you?
He wasn't involved in the play. No. Someone to my right suggesting there's nothing wrong with him, and that given it's in the 23rd minute, dare we suggest it's a tactical timeout by the visitors, because Aldershot Town have, particularly in the last 5-10 minutes, really dominated possession, really hemmed in Brackley to their own final third, and that is where, yes, Brackley have shown some good attacking intent of their own, but when they're out of possession, they funnel back, get plenty of bodies behind the ball, compact, organised, don't allow the opposition much space where it really matters, and that's where Aldershot Town need to be patient. They need to spread the ball. They need to their off the ball movement needs to be really lively, and to Steve, open it up and break them down.
Yeah, and Steve, I think we've got the classic goalkeeper. Gets a bit of treatment, gets up, is absolutely fine, because the whole of the rest of the Brackley side have gone over to the bench, and Gav Cowan's literally given instructions to all of them.
It's such a common feature of the game
like
now,
it's been accepted, and there's no attempt to stop it. And of course, both
you can't prove it. You can't prove or disprove it.
Yeah. But Johnny Maxted absolutely fine. 24 minutes gone, 0-0. Aldershot, by the way, have done it as well this season. I'm not picking on Brackley.
Yeah, no, I mean it's become a valid, and for managers and coaches, a valuable feature of the game.
I think they'd be better off. Well, no, you can't do Widrington's been dispossessed in midfield, picked up by Morgan Roberts, running to the edge of the area. He tries a swing, foot comes in, can't get the ball. They've still got it on the left side. Matt Lowe positions himself, it's squared to the far post. And then it's prodded just wide. And Ryan Tetek quite rightly asking, why is it corner? I think it was prodded directly wide, but it was only just wide of the post, so Aldershot perhaps to a certain extent relieved it's gone wide, Steve, but a corner has been given, and the referee is a lot closer than you and I.
Yeah, I think it's credit to Ryan Hill, actually. He was stationed on that far post. Whether the ball was going to hit the post or dribble just wide, I'm not quite sure, but Ryan was right to not take any chances, and he did just get a slight touch, but a vital touch that made sure the ball didn't go into the net.
Okay, Haynes is setting up for another left-footed in-swinger. Referee has told the corner taker to pause while he has a word about pushing, holding or something. I don't know. He's actually having a word with Marcus Dewhurst. Stay out of the referee's eye line, Marcus. don't push it. Left-footed in swinging corner, held up to the back post, header over the bar, a clear jump from the Brackley player, who's actually landed a little bit awkwardly. He's now, I think, going to get up without the need for treatment. He's a little bit groggy, feeling behind to his kidney area, and I do believe it's that man Zach Lilly again, Steve.
Yeah, he gets forward, but not managed to control either of his headers on goal so far, and he is a centre-back with attacking intent, likes to bring the ball out, but also a danger at set pieces.
Well, it is 0-0, and some people might have predicted if there was ever going to be one that went long into the game 0-0, it would be this one. But I don't think it's for the reasons that people would have predicted it. Brackley very much in this game, and they've actually supplied the only real 2 or 3 half chances so far. That prod wide for me is probably the best chance. I didn't see who prodded it wide. I definitely didn't see any clear deflection, but it appears there was one.
Yeah, Ryan Hill touched it behind.
Barrett back to Claridge as Kiban Rai comes back from a warm-up. 27 minutes very nearly gone. Shots going down the left with Hill into Abrahams, gives it back to Hill. Hill inside to Tetek. Tetek to Claridge, beautifully taken down, holds it up, plays it into Barrett. Barrett's going back to Theo Widrington, who finds Tetek. Tetek switches. He's done the swivel again, got away from his man, and he's pulled down for the foul. If there's a player in the National League that spins on a sixpence better than Dayan Tetek, I've yet to see him play.
He doesn't exist. But yeah, it's such a key feature of Tetek's game, and he's so good on the ball as well that it can buy him space where there really isn't any.
Free kick then to shots in the 28th minute. Josh Barrett to take it. 7 assists in 7 games to date. Can he assist an 8th one here? Or can he have an audacious attempt at goal like he did at Gateshead and hit the post? I think that's less likely. It's further out and it's further right, but not by a huge amount. If anyone was going to try it, it would be Josh Barrett. Steps forward, sends it in. It's missed by a couple of people, and it's gone to the far post, and the furthest player is the Brackley player. Played it forward, cut out by Tetek, throw into Brackley, and frustrating that Aldershot couldn't get the first contact on the set piece.
Yeah, the first player at the near post, I think it was Tristan Abrahams, sort of ducked out the way almost as a dummy to let the ball go through, but there was nobody on the same wavelength ready to touch it in, stab it through a crowd of players goalwards.
Here's Brackley playing it forward, headed up in the air by Penman, but then down, and then headed down again by it was by Ben Jackson, and then Claridge played it into Barrett, and Barrett couldn't get it under control. The ball's gone into touch. Brackley throw in. Got a horrible feeling in my head, I might have said Boston a minute ago. They are playing in similar colours. They're two sides that begin with a B and came up from the National League North in the last 2 years, and that's the end of my excuses. There's a ball played forward, missed by the players that were initially going for it. Then Jackson toes it back to Dewhurst. And what I will say, it's the same scoreline as 30 minutes in at Truro on Wednesday, but Aldershot are a lot more comfortable in this game than they were in that one. And I think they've largely had more control of the ball, but Brackley have had the half chances. Here's a ball down the line towards Kwame Thomas, takes it under control, plays it into the path of Archie Taylor. He tries a little skip to get it back on his left foot, goes back to Theo Widrington. Widrington sends it inside to Tetek. Tetek back to Widrington. Widrington back to Jackson, who's in the centre circle, and Aldershot content to be patient in their build-up. Now to Tetek inside, he cuts further inside, goes back to Theo Widrington, ball through the middle. Abrahams touches it on to Kwame Thomas, who wasn't quite ready for it, and he toes it straight to the Brackley number 4, Jack Price. Aldershot have won it on the touchline, but the ball was already in touch, and it will be a throw into Brackley, just I think inside their own half. 0-0, 30 minutes and 20 seconds gone. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, I think both sides will be happy with their start. Tommy Widrington getting a little bit frustrated with Aldershot Town's failure to open up this Brackley defence, but as we've already said, patience will be the key word this afternoon.
Ball out to the right, taken down under control by Tristan Abrahams. Taylor sends it into the far post. Kwame Thomas, well, he steps out of the jump because he realises it's going over the head. Now he holds it up, down by the corner flag, plays it into Hill. Hill about turns, is marching back down the right hand side now, goes back through Penman to Jackson. Jackson across to Claridge. 31 minutes gone, 0-0. Ball out to Barrett, who's trying to work and find a bit of space. He plays it up to Taylor. Taylor takes it into the bylines, going to try and get across in. That's cut out and goes behind. Has it gone behind for a corner? No, it's a throw-in to Aldershot, but an exemplary start to the game for young Archie Taylor. He's been a revelation since he's been in that right wing back. I can't say any more than that. He's barely put a foot wrong. The best person to do that in that position since Ashley Akpan last season.
Yeah, absolutely. And when Ashley comes back to fitness, there'll be a heck of a battle for that position. But yeah, Archie didn't start in the starting lineup at the start of the season. Maxie Mullins didn't take his chance in that position. Archie Taylor has grabbed it with both hands.
Oh, he takes the throw here, and his first little error. As to be honest, it was a misunderstanding between him and Abrahams. Well, a foul by Jackson on Connor Hall, 10 yards inside the half, but I think the referee's saying I'm giving it for the previous foul, no advantage, I think is what he's signalling, because he's pointed it back. Tommy Whittington having a word with Richie Watkins, who just looks at him and shakes his head. Again, not courting any controversy, and I like to see that, but I am aware that I sat there on Wednesday night, half an hour in, said the referee's had a good start to the game, and then he went and made probably one of the worst decisions of his career, I'd imagine. But hey ho, good start, Richie Watkins, 32 and 3/4 minutes, 0-0. Huge, straight through the middle from Maxted, half cleared, and then picked up now by Archie Taylor, who thinks about sending it long but goes back to Claridge. An Aldershot impressive only, I'd say, in possession, Steve, nothing more than that today, but keeping the ball well, working it round, but equally finding Brackley very hard to break down, and they're not the first.
No, absolutely, they absolutely are.
Ball forward, I think Barrett and Abrahams have just beaten the offside track. Abrahams, well, again, his little, what he tried was read by Lilly, who's telling the assistant referee 2 Aldershot players were offside. It wasn't given. Throw-ins taken. Archie Taylor to Theo Widrington, poked into touch by Morgan Roberts. Theo sends the ball out to Abrahams, holds it up down by the byline, goes back to Roberts, who sends it back into Tristan Abrahams. He's in the area, shoots, is parried away and then headed behind. In the 34th minute, Aldershot Town have their first attempt of any kind on goal. That's how mean this Brackley defence is. Point blank effort, beaten away by Maxted and then headed behind by Gareth Dean. Corner to the shots, their first of the day. Quick word, Steve. Very quick.
Really good move between Taylor and Abrahams. And Abrahams, it was straight at Maxted, who was well positioned. Should have gone low into one of the corners.
In it comes to the far post, headed away by Brackley, followed up, oh, swing and a miss from Penman. He gets the second touch, no he doesn't, he's cleared away and won by Brackley, who got the ball here, and they might just send it forward, 50-50 down the middle. Archie Taylor gets a little touch on it, Hill comes across and he shoves in the back of his opponent, and he might be a lucky boy if he doesn't get a yellow card here, Steve. He tried to do a little shove that he might have got away from, but the referee spotted it, and the referee, I think, says don't complain, otherwise I get my yellow card out.
Yeah, I thought initially that the referee had just given a throw, but it does seem like it's going to be a free kick a couple of yards in from the touchline. Good
play from Abrahams, good link-up play, but then in the shot, point blank straight at the keeper, an issue he's had issues with in earlier home games this season.
Yeah, as I said, he should have either pulled it to the near post or gone across Maxted to the far post, and then the goalkeeper would have had a far more difficult save to make. And it's number 37 Haynes with that left foot to whip this one in.
In it comes, headed up and away and behind by Connor Hall. But from those corners, those free kicks and that one, the first contact in the Aldershot penalty area has very consistently been from a Brackley player, Steve, and that's not ideal. They'd want to win first and seconds if they can.
They will, and now
Aldershot playing it around in their own penalty area, almost giving it away. Tetek comes to the rescue, and the first time Brackley have really pressed with so many people so high. Ball is headed on by a Brackley player into the path of Barrett. Lovely first time ball to Abrahams. Off the ball, Thomas has been impeded. Ryan Hall runs into the box, looks to square it, is cut behind for a corner, and I think we're going to see a yellow card here for another Brackley player for the infringement on Thomas off the ball. And it is, and it's Gazdeen, Steve, who picks up the yellow card. Lovely end-to-end play there from the Shots, who win their second corner of the game.
Yeah, it was almost like that little bit of chaos in defence was by design, because then Brackley committed players forward, and Aldershot Town were able to bypass that press quite easily. And yeah, I think Dean knew exactly what he was doing, trying to halt the Shots counter.
Corner taken short to Tetek, back to Barrett. He's into the area, tries to lift it up. That is blocked. Got to get that ball in, Steve. Brackley defending, getting the first man on it, and that's the difference in the game right now. 0-0, but Brackley winning first contacts. There's a ball forward. That's asking a bit much for Tetek. Heavy touch though from Brackley, and the recovery touch takes it out of play for an Aldershot Town throw. That was to avoid giving away another corner. 0-0, 37 minutes. An intriguing game. Has largely been played on the front foot from both teams. Brackley with the majority of first contacts in the box at either end. Here's Tetek in possession on the left side. He wanders in and then squares it to Claridge. Good vision, good touch. Claridge forward to the edge of the area, plays it into the feet of Kwame Thomas, holding it up, goes back outside to Barrett. Barrett wants it on his left, then his right. He's into the penalty area. He's past one, he squares it, towed towards goal by Thomas, but cleared away. And then Theo Widrington ends up in the floor with his shirt halfway up his back, and the referee gives a free kick to Brackley. I can only imagine, Steve, I didn't see it, that Theo Widrington probably was fouling first and then the response on him. Yeah,
it was him and Matt Lowe were having a right royal tussle as the ball was played forward. It did look, I think you had to see, even before the ball was even in the vicinity, for Theo to be penalised, because certainly Lowe was the aggressor as eyes drifted across the pitch to that area.
Okay, free kick to Brackley. Zach Lilly to take. He's had a couple of their half chances so far. Headers at the far post. Not been able to get them on target. Here's another coming together on the far side. And Aldershot doubling up on the Brackley players. And in the end, Penman's down holding his head, but the free kick has gone to Brackley. And well, I don't know if you got a clear view of that, but it looked like there was a bit of holding going on, and Aldershot had the two men holding the one Brackley player. And the referee, again, well positioned, has given the free kick.
Yeah, at the moment Brackley they're winning those 50-50s, they're winning the percentages and almost playing the system in the way they are winning free kicks, where they're almost suckering Aldershot Town into making that first transgression.
Okay, Haynes is out there. So too is another Brackley player. I can't see his shirt. Aldershot's defensive line on the edge of the area. Referee's now calling.
Jack Price is out there as well.
Yeah, Jack Price. Referee's now calling Gazdeen and Ben Jackson out for a word about the holding, pushing, pulling, whatever. Having a very clear word with them, as if to suggest they need to stop it absolutely, otherwise he's going to give a free kick either way. And now Haynes steps forward, tries the free kick low, straight into the wall. It cannons through to Hill, who's got the ball. He's running towards his own goal, turning one way then the other. He's outwitted his man well, and then he's won it and he's fouled. And Aldershot Town win a free kick, and it might be on the edge of his own 18-yard area, but wonderful control in possession from Ryan Hill, who's becoming a very popular fans' favourite here at the EBB. Tetek finds Barrett in a bit of space, not space in a bit of Barrett. He goes back to Claridge. Claridge through Jackson to Penman, who's gone over halfway, sends it inside to Abrahams. Abrahams back to Theo Widrington. He tries a ball out to the right side. It's headed on by a Brackley player. Archie Taylor should get there first, down by the corner flag. He's got Barrett with him. Can Aldershot work the ball into the box? They do. Into Tetek. Tetek. Oh, lovely feet from him. Squares it. Half cleared. Followed up by Josh Barrett. Wonderful move. Barrett finishes low into the net at the High Street end. And in the 41st minute, Aldershot Town take the lead. Josh Barrett with his second goal of the season. Tetek with the assist. Aldershot Town 1, Brackley 0.
In the end, a great finish from Josh Barrett. Lashed it through a crowd of players into the net, but it was all about Dejan Tetek, who started the game so impressively. So much composure and poise and technique, and he just dropped his shoulder and was able to burst past his player, pulled it back, and Barrett did what Barrett does. Maybe not what Barrett does really, not as much finesse as usual, just put the laces through it, lashed it in, but superb from Dejan Tetek.
Yeah, I completely agree with the way that you've kind of semi-corrected yourself, because he literally did that, put his laces through it, and it's exactly what it was needed. He had a split second. I'm going to need to see it back, which we won't do, but I think Tetek's square inside was meant for somebody else, and I think it carried on through to Barrett, or was deflected into Barrett's path. Certainly be tempted to give the assist to the Tetek, but yeah, we might need to see that one back. What is not in doubt is Josh Barrett has doubled his tally for the season, and he's now had 9 goal involvements in 8 games. Brackley send the ball in here, and it's been towed behind, and we might just be 2.5 minutes plus added time away from half time, and the shots might be ahead, but they've got a corner to defend here. I can't remember if the third or the fourth one is it now?
Their third corner.
Third corner for Brackley. Shots have had 2 themselves. It's been a tight game, but the shots have broken the deadlock. 4 minutes from half time. Did the golden goal, Josh? You were 4 minutes early, but never mind. The shots now with some defending to do. Mission number 1, try and get through to half time with that clean sheet. In comes the corner, left footed from Haynes, headed behind by Kwame Thomas. I could see that clearly. It'll be a 4th corner of the afternoon for Brackley. Still a bit of late afternoon sunshine penetrating that box at the East Bank end. I don't know if it's a factor or not. We can't see it, but
no, it certainly was for Tommy early on, who was shielding his eyes in front of us in the dugout.
1-0 shots, 1.5 minutes to go until half time, and Jack Price sends in the corner to the far post. Referee spots some pushing, and that's in favour of Aldershot Town. They have a free kick in their own goal area, and I think, I said it a couple of times, Steve, in possession I'd give the first half just to the home side, to the shots. In terms of both boxes, I'd have to shade Brackley, get the first contacts at both ends, but Aldershot's neat, intricate passing has produced one of the best passing moves and goals of the season so far, and there's plenty of choice, because that's goal number 21 of the season for the Shots.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think today's going to be that free scoring fiesta that Aldershot Town games usually are, but that is credit to Brackley. I think you're absolutely right. They've shaded it in both boxes, but it's Josh Barrett who has broken the deadlock. Probably Brackley have had more half chances.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's Aldershot Town who've taken one of them.
Aldershot clearly feel, with the body language of the players and the game plan, they feel that they can pass it around, and that is the way to pass it around this Brackley team. And we're going to have 2 added minutes starting now. Throw-in inside by Brackley is cut out, and then Penman's missed it. He offered his arm towards it actually, and thankfully didn't make contact. And then there is a foul by Matt Lowe, who holds his head to his hands, and he can't complain. And now Morgan Roberts has been shown a yellow card for dissent. And interestingly, Steve, it's Aldershot Town this season and last season that picked up a lot of unnecessary yellow cards for dissent, but it's Brackley who've been the unhappier with the referee in the first half, and now picked up 2 yellow cards for dissent, Matt Lowe and now also Morgan Roberts.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. You get into an argument with the referee, there's only going to be one winner.
Free kick played forward, nodded down by Kwame Thomas, but only to the feet of Byrne. Barrett nearly nicked it off Roberts. Lovely, skillful footwork by Roberts. Prods the ball into the path of Connor Hall. This is a wonderful counter-attack. Roberts going for it again. Ben Jackson gets there, but can't stop the cross, and it's cleared away by Penman, well positioned. into touch, throw into Brackley, and Aldershot Town have 45 seconds to keep Brackley out of their goal at the end of this first half to go in with a half-time 1-0 lead. They're going to have a long throw. The taker is going to be the number 37 Ryan Haynes. The big guns are up from the back, namely Carl Morrison and Gareth Dean. And Aldershot Town have some more defending to do. In it comes, into the area, headed away. Barrett volleys it forward down the right side. Abrahams will battle for it, and it's played into touch by Little. 10 seconds of the 2 added. I would imagine if the referee's as consistent as he's been throughout this very calm first half, he'll blow up as soon as this throw-in is taken. Taylor surely has to throw it down the line to Abrahams. Don't want to risk losing possession on halfway, and when he does so, I'm sure referee Richie Watkins will blow for half time. It's flicked on. Abrahams has got it. It's an offside or a free kick, either way given for Brackley. Lily's down holding his head, and it is half time. Sensible refereeing. He was about to blow anyway, and Aldershot Town have a slender lead in a game in which we thought the score differential might be slender. 1-0, the goal coming in the 41st minute. No doubt about the goal scorer, Josh Barrett. There may have been a deflection on Dejan Tetek's intended pass across the area, but Tetek, Steve, probably the pick of the Aldershot players for me anyway at half time, and yeah, so far so good for the shots.
Yeah, absolutely, a tight first half as we expected. In the end, Brackley showed more attacking intent, more attacking impetus than maybe we expected. There was a slight deflection off a Brackley defender. I think just seeing a replay now, I think the pullback was aimed at Tristan Abrahams. The Brackley defender got a foot to it, and it dropped very kindly for Josh Barrett, who made no mistake. And yeah, Brackley have been compact, everything that we thought they would be, and more going forward. Aldershot Town have had to be patient, they've had to be neat and tidy and progressive in their passing, and that is why someone like Dan Tetek has been so much to the fore. Those are all of his qualities, and Aldershot Town are going to need him again in the second half to try and get that second goal that would give them a bit of breathing space, and then invite Brackley out, because then the visitors would have to come out, they'd have to commit more bodies forward, and that in turn would leave more space for Aldershot Town to exploit, to really put the game to bed. But the Shots do need a second goal.
Well, they certainly will, based on their record of clean sheets. They haven't kept one, just kept the one, here, at home to Morecambe, haven't they, with a 4-0 win and the 3-2 defeats. But interestingly, the management team, which is a 5-man management team these days, Theo Widgeon and Hugo Langton, Dave the goalkeeping coach, Alan Dowson, and James Henry, of course, player, coach, substitute today. I would at this stage normally give you some half times, but let me give you some full times. Altrincham 2, Sutton 1, that was an early kick-off. Sutton took the lead, but Altrincham turned it round in the second half. Bournemouth 3, Morecambe 0. So after that opening day win for Morecambe, 4 consecutive defeats, they've lost 3-0 to Bournemouth. Matt Rush with a double there. Boston 1, Solihull Moors 2. Solihull Moors having kissed, maybe they didn't even kiss actually, but said goodbye to Matt Taylor in the week. No wins in their first 7 games. They have beaten Boston today, so they got their first win of the season against Boston, as did Truro 7 days ago. And then Carlisle 3, Truro City 0. Luke Armstrong with 2 goals and Regan Linney with the other. Forest Green Rovers, well, they might have a new manager, but they're doing what they did last season a lot, winning by 1 goal, and they've beaten Hartlepool United, who started the day 5th, by 1-0. Rochdale 2, Braintree 0. Manny Diaz-Aruve with both goals, is now the top scorer in the National League with 8 for the season. Scunthorpe came from behind to beat Wealdstone perhaps the two surprise teams of the National League so far, both started the day in the top 7. Southend 3, Halifax 0. Halifax, I think, reduced to 10 men at one point in that game. Tamworth 1, Eastleigh 0. Both sides reduced to 10 men. And then how about this for a scoreline? Woking 5, Gateshead 0. And Yeovil 1, York City 3. And of course here at the EBB, the only game still taking place halfway through, Aldershot Town 1, Brackley 0. Don't normally do live league tables, but bearing in mind all the other games have finished, I will say that should this result remain as it is, or Aldershot go on to win the game, they will move up to 10th place in the National League with 11 points from their first 8 games. And on the back of 3 consecutive defeats at the start of the season, Steve, you'd have to say that's a pretty good turnaround.
It is. It's a remarkable turnaround, and as I put to Tommy after that 3-2 defeat against Eastleigh, the third of those 3 games, there's a big case for Aldershot Town having won their opening 3 games rather than lost them. So it was a case of trust the process, keep doing what you're doing and the results will come, and Aldershot Town are seeing the fruits of those labours belatedly but impressively. And to be in the top 10, albeit sneaking into the top 10 at this stage of the season when you had those 3 opening defeats is really impressive, and is testament to what Aldershot Town are doing, that they are a work in progress. Of course, they're still one of the youngest teams in this division, but they're burgeoning and they're building, and particularly when at one stage, and probably still pretty close to it, they had 8, 9, 10 players, most of them defenders, in the treatment room. It was a mix and match, a patched together team. They're doing really, really well.
Absolutely. And those supporters that said Aldershot were relegation fodder after those first 3 games how should take a long look at themselves, shouldn't they? Because you can't look at a league table after 3 games, and you're only getting a snapshot of the season. And well done to the vast majority, of course, who stuck with the shots, who could see an awful lot of good things going forward, and 1 or 2 things to work on defensively.
Anybody who's got even a passing interest in football, you can know that things are cyclical, that things are transient, but just because you lose one game doesn't mean you're going to lose the next or the one after that. You could quite easily, so many times teams have been battered one week and then come back and won the next. That's the glorious chaos of football, and certainly anyone of an Aldershot Town persuasion should know that the roller coaster never goes which way you think it will, and this team will always confound expectations. If they're struggling, they'll beat the league leaders, and if they're high flying, they'll beat the team that you think are cannon fodder, or they'll lose to the team that you think are cannon fodder. Gloriously, predictably unpredictable.
Yeah, I think if you go back to that midweek game, we've over talked about all the circumstances, but for Aldershot to go into a game like that away to one of the smaller clubs and come back with a point actually represents a bit of progress on last season, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, and the spirit that they've shown, and you mentioned it in the first half, you think the late equaliser that wasn't against Boston, maybe you could argue the 4th goal that was disallowed up at Gateshead, there are a few points that Aldershot Town could, arguably should have gained, and there are other decisions that have gone against Aldershot Town. And of course, over the course of a season, every team can point to games that didn't quite go to plan, or they didn't get the decisions they felt they deserved, but certainly there are instances there where Aldershot Town's 2 games, just those, the Boston and Gateshead, could have been very different. And Aldershot Town haven't got maybe the points tally that they deserve, but they're on an upward trajectory. This team is growing in confidence and quality, and as players come back, strength in depth, and we're seeing that now in this excellent run of form.
Yeah, and just building on your point you've just made about strength in depth, let's have a look at the Aldershot Town bench for today. I'm focusing a bit on Aldershot. If there are any Brackley fans listening, I know there is a Brackley club commentary, so I'm not expecting there to be many. And obviously they're not taking this commentary for DAZN today because they've got their own coverage. So, Pat Nash, Ryan Jones, great to see him back and available. Yeah. I'm sure he'll come on at some point today. Jed Meerholtz, who, let's not forget, was playing out position at left centre back. He can do a job in the centre of the park if required. James Henry, say no more really. Kiban Rai, who has yet to have too many moments but has shown a bit of promise when we have seen him. Hadi Gandor, who's made an impact every time he's come on, and Max Mullins, who has history of coming on and making things happen late on.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a really good, strong bench, and that's with any number of players still in the treatment room, or, as in the case of Will Nightingale, newly in the treatment room. It is quite a remarkable situation, but it proves the quality and the depth that Aldershot Town have got. And Bailey Hobson for Brackley looks like he's coming on. He's already doing a bit of a vigorous warm-up. He's got his match shirt on underneath his pink training bib. On loan from Chesterfield, if I'm right. And proves again the quality that Brackley do have. Calder, Pollock, Brown, Waldron and Hobson all made positive contributions against Carlisle in midweek, and there's versatility there, there's quality on the ball, there's attacking intent, experience. Zach Brown at Kidderminster, I think, before versatility. Danny Waldron. Players who can all come on in different positions across the pitch and make an impact. So yes, they've only got 6 substitutes, not the 7, but there are players there who can come on for Brackley and really impact the game, ask new questions of Aldershot Town and make a difference for the visitors as well. Thank you, Steve. We're going to take a very quick break now. It may only end up being 3 or 4 minutes as we've had a bit of a chat at half time. Don't miss the kickoff. If I do, you're in charge, sir. Just begin. Just helping out a supporter there that couldn't find the commentary, and hopefully he'll find it next time. But he's here today watching, so he doesn't need it right now. No, he doesn't need us to paint the pictures. He doesn't need the commentary right now, but he's getting it whether he likes it or not, because he's sat 3 feet away from me. Here we go. No, thank you, sir. Right, let's get underway for the second half. Barrett goes back to Tetek. Shots 1, Brackley 0. No changes for Aldershot at half time, but I think confirmation that Bailey Hobson has come on for Jack Price. Thank you. A straight swap in that kind of maybe forward thinking midfield position. Double. Price is just coming back from injury. And another one as well. Straight swap at left wing back as well. Right, here's Kwame Thomas battling, holding the ball up. Brackley have won it. Hill goes in, ball forward, and free kick given against Charlie Penman, who needs to be a little bit careful with his descent. There's a little bit of grappling going on between Lowe and Penman, and the referee gave it. It's a free kick on the halfway line for Brackley, attacking the East Bank end in the second half in their yellow shirts with thin black diagonal pin stripes, holding the ball up down by the corner flag, getting the ball into the area. Theo Widrington gets it, goes back to Dewhurst. Dewhurst up to the left side. Kwame Thomas will battle for it, and he's battling up against his man. He's done really well to get a foot in. Might have been close to getting a free kick from the ref, but kept it. Here's Penman jumping well and beating Low in the air. The ball will run into touch. So let's give you those teams. The shots: Dewhurst in goal, Penman, Jackson and Claridge the back 3, Hill, Tetek, Widrington and Taylor across the middle, Barrett supporting Thomas and Abrahams in attack. Give you the Brackley side in a minute. There's a ball forward and in. Jackson goes in hard, wins it, plays it off the player, sends it inside looking for Tetek. Tetek can't win it cleanly. Morgan Roberts, who's really looks a quality player to me in that number 10 position, and I think he played out wide when he was at Aldershot, but Aldershot have won it here with Archie Taylor. Gets the ball back from Abrahams, but he's got nowhere to go. Eventually goes back to Abrahams on halfway, and shape wise just keep an eye on it, Steve. I'm not sure if Brackley might have changed slightly. Aldershot
not looking quite as comfortable with the position. There's a lovely ball from Barrett out to the right side, and Archie Taylor's galloping forward. He's kept it in play down by the corner flag. Goes back to Abrahams inside to Theo Widrington, gives it back to Abrahams, just wanders back outside the penalty area and goes back to Theo out to Archie Taylor. Taylor sends the cross in, headed away centrally, followed up by Widrington, and the shot forward, I thought it came back off the referee, didn't it?
It did.
What he's done, rather than stop the play, he's let it go on because Aldershot are in possession. He's so calm and seamless, the referee is unbelievable. He's got a few advantage decisions right, to be fair to him. Aldershot still building the attack. Tetek into Abrahams. Is he offside? Yes, he is. Clear through. Just mistimed the run, or Brackley got out well, but yeah, good play all round. And in the end, Aldershot offside.
Good patient passing from the shots once again, being patient as they have to be to open up this Brackley defence, trying to pull someone out of position. In the end, it was a really nice ball over the top from Theo Widrington, but as you say, Abrahams in the Brackley defence, one of them moved a little bit too soon.
Okay, here's Brackley picking it up just inside the Aldershot town half, playing it forward to Hall. Hall leaves the ball for Byrne. Now they spread it out to the left-hand side, and a little bit more kind of, I don't know, impetus from Brackley. Looked like trying to up the tempo themselves at the start of the second half.
Yeah, I think maybe Hobson is perhaps slightly more attack-minded than Price, but otherwise I think it's a similar formation to the first half.
Aldershot have won it though, inside their own half, and they're coming forward now out to the left-hand side. Tetek finds Hill, goes back inside to Barrett. Barrett pings it a little bit too hard at Hill, who doesn't waste time. Love that attitude. Instead of going, oh, that's a terrible pass, and flinging his arms out wide, he just ran back into position to defend the throw. Yeah, that is what you want from your team player who gets his foot on that ball and diverts it into touch. Another throw further down to Brackley.
Yeah, I think Ryan Hill is known for his creativity, for his forward-thinking, attack-minded movement, but his work rate has been really impressive.
In comes the cross from Brackley, all the way through to the midriff of Marcus Dewhurst, and he's holding it at the edge of his area. He wanted a quick one, it's not really on, and now he sends it up the middle looking for Kwame Thomas, but it'll be easy for Byrne to drift onto. His header though will only go through to James Claridge. Theo Widrington's back there. It's a really steady, solid game in the middle of the park with Widrington. Nice foil for Tetek, who's coming forward now. Barrett round the corner, chested down by Thomas, and Shane Byrne wafts a foot in where he shouldn't, and he's come across the front, I think, and put his studs up across the front of the stomach of Kwame Thomas, and he's shown yellow. He can't believe it, but I tell you what, Steve, I think it was a genuine attempt to get for the ball, and that's why he's been shown yellow. But studs there into the stomach of Kwame Thomas.
Yeah, and I think there was also a bit of a buffeting in that challenge as well.
He was propelled onto his
side to side, midriff to midriff almost into Kwame Thomas, and clumsy from Byrne in his position in that deep lying midfield role. That's a long time on a yellow card.
We are approaching 51 minutes. We've got a combination of sunshine and floodlights at the moment, and Josh Barrett with a free kick at the East Bank end, headed away by Brackley, an infringement anyway, given I think against Penman in the box, and the referee's now having a word with him, and I think he's rightly doing so, because Penman has shown a little bit of irritation and frustration at a couple of decisions. He's got the skipper Theo Widrington there, and I can't interpret because I can't hear, but my interpretation is that he's saying in front of the skipper, look, I've had a couple of acts of dissent from this young lad, and it needs to stop, otherwise he's going in the yellow card.
Absolutely,
in the book,
it does need to, and it's stupid from Charlie, and is so needless as well. As we've said, if you're trying to start an argument with a referee, you are not going to win that argument.
Full stop. 51 minutes 45 seconds gone, 1-0 to Aldershot. Here's Penman not making contact with that header. Tetek brings it down. I thought he was then fouled from behind, but nothing was given, and Bailey Hobson sends it out to Morgan Roberts. He's going to try a shot from distance. That's well blocked by James Claridge at source, but it ricochets kindly for Brackley, and they pick up the ball again on halfway. ever lengthening shadows here at the EBB from the late afternoon, early evening sunshine, which has almost disappeared away now. Here's Brackley in possession, playing it across the back line. Little goes all the way back to Maxted. He's going to kick long now into the right channel. Ryan Hill's there, bounces off of Lowe. Lowe goes, Penman wins it and goes back to Dewhurst, but that's cut out by Bailey Hobson. And then Barrett cuts it out, but it'll end up in touch.
That's Robin Hales. Could you please make your way round to the downstairs bar where the staff will be happy to reunite with you with some of your property. That's Robin Hales. If you could go to the downstairs bar, please.
Right, Brackley make a hash of a throw in. Connor Hall heads it straight back into touch, and Aldershot Town. Interesting in the body language, Steve. We said that Brackley have got a little bit more intensity and thrust about them. Looking at the body language of the Aldershot players, when we get a stoppage like this, they're trying to compose themselves and slow it down, and that's exactly what you should do in a tight 1-0 situation, of course, and one that they're not always renowned for doing. Here's Penman beaten to it, held up now by Lowe into the path of Hobson. Hobson's got Little there for company, but he's also being well shackled by Hill. Hill's almost won it off him, but now Morrison plays the ball into the path of Roberts, who finds Hobson. Hobson header into the area, and it bounces down and up and towards the top corner, and then Dewhurst, for me, Steve, palmed it behind for what should have been a corner that hasn't been given. And somehow both officials have failed to spot Dewhurst getting his hand on that, and it's given us a goal kick. And I don't suppose there's many or any Brackley Town listeners, but we always do tell it as it is.
Yeah, for me, that Marcus, he had to take evasive action. He was almost avoiding colliding with that post, but he got a hand to that, and I think he needed to.
Good flick on from Kwame Thomas, but Brackley will get to the next ball. I knew I'd do it again. Here's Barrett onto the ball just inside the Brackley half, rampaging across the halfway line, and then slows and comes back, threads it into Tetek. Tetek's got Hill in front of him. Hill's going to take on Little, and Little has positioned himself well and won it back. Hill continues his run. He'll put pressure on Morrison. Brackley play it forward, but Penman gets onto it first, and Penman, who's shut up his mouth and got on with it, has won himself a free kick, and that's the way to respond.
Absolutely. Yeah, concentrate on defending, because he has shown both for Brighton and for Aldershot he's a good player.
Free kick taken back inside to Theo Widrington through Charlie Penman to Ben Jackson. Penman and Jackson making their home debuts for Aldershot Town in the National League. Jackson's first start since the season opener. Ball out to the right hand side. Taylor's well positioned, and he manages to block the clearance forward from Brackley into touch. Throw into Brackley halfway inside their own half on the left side. 1-0 to the Shots. 55 minutes and 35 seconds gone. Both sides beginning the day on 8 points, both looking to bring their total up to 11 and move up to 10th position. That's the prize at stake in the early season fledgling league table, as I call it. Brackley clearing their lines up towards halfway, chested down by Connor Hall, but only into the path of Tetek, who diverts it back to Penman. Aldershot looking to manage the pace of the game, looking to keep the ball when they can, but can't afford to be too passive in the game. At some point they'll be looking to try and create an opportunity to give themselves a buffer. Ball up towards Abrahams, does well, gets it, turns, collects, comes back onto his left foot and back to Theo Widrington, who's playing it now to Barrett. Barrett back to Jackson. And now Jackson forward through the middle and then plays it out left to Barrett. Exemplary control. Rolls the ball into the path of Tetek, always available. Tetek to Claridge. Claridge out to Archie Taylor on the right hand side. Ball round the corner, is looking for Abrahams, can't find him. Brackley have picked the ball up inside their own half. Shane Byrne in possession now. Well, he swivelled almost as well as Tetek there, to be fair. Went both ways, and a good ball forward finds Morgan Roberts. He's got Claridge chasing him. but Claridge puts his arm on the back of Roberts. It is a free kick, and it will also be a yellow card for James Claridge. And I think, given that had he not made the foul, Morgan Roberts would have been rampaging towards the Aldershot penalty area. I think an understandable yellow card, and I'm just going to check it, but I think it's James Claridge's fourth of the season. It is indeed the most of any Aldershot Town player, but there are 3 others already on 3: Nightingale, Hill and Hargreaves. Free kick taken by Byrne out to the left hand side, where Calder picks it up. Good cross into the area, header down, half cleared, and then Aldershot do clear it, and it just bounced almost off of Dewhurst, didn't it, Steve? Just relay that incident, describe it as you saw it.
Yeah, I think it was an excellent save, point blank. Marcus Dewhurst just almost scooped it out from on the goal line as the ball hit him, but yeah, an excellent save and keep the shots in the lead.
Yeah, I think, I may be proven wrong on this, but I think it might have been Morrison who got the header in from close range straight at Dewhurst, and then the parry fell kindly for Aldershot to clear, but Brackley are still on the attack. Hobson to Lowe, cross to the far post, oh, beautifully chested down by Archie Taylor. How can a player so young be so composed, Steve Gibbs?
Yeah, he's running out of superlatives.
Yeah. Oh, clearance from Brackley, only as far as Tristan Abraham, sends it left to Barrett. He can't take it under control first time, but he now moves on to it. He's going up against Morrison on his right foot, sends it in, it's headed away. I think the shots players will let it run into touch. Hill takes the throw quickly to Theo Widrington. He plays it forward. Hobson reads that pass to Barrett. Ball played up now to Matt Lowe, holding it up, touches it into the path of Hobson, who tries a little shimmy to get past, and Charlie Penman is going to get his yellow card now. He was on a last warning, and I think he reluctantly accepts his punishment, and he nods and accepts it. He knew he was on a last warning. It was a lovely show inside from Hobson, great bit of control, bought the foul, and spot on from the ref. Yellow card for Charlie Penman in the 60th minute.
Yeah, I think that one would have been almost deserving of a yellow in itself, but the referee pointed around that old totting up process. I think absolutely Charlie can have no complaints. But it was Theo's weak pass that put Aldershot Town in that compromised position, and yeah, Theo's better than that, but now the shots have got it back.
With Abraham, sends it inside to Tetek. He rolls it to Barrett, far side, just inside the box. He's going to have to go with it with his left foot, prods it forward, cut out with his right foot it was, goes behind for a corner at the East Bank end. Yeah, what's a shame, having said that referee Richie Watkins has refereed the game well, it's a shame that an hour gone he's actually shown 6 yellows, but I think he's been fairly consistent with them and the way in which he's handled the game. Corner to the shots, they're 1-0 up. They've protected their goal in the 58th minute there with a point blank header saved by Dewhurst. Will that prove decisive in the game? In comes the corner to the far post, headed up and behind by the number 6 Gareth Dean, the Brackley skipper, who was up against Kwame Thomas, and now Josh Barrett will gently jog from one side of the pitch to other to take Aldershot Town's 4th corner. I think 4 each, is it, Steve? You're keeping the tally.
It is 4 each, yeah.
Yeah, pretty even game whichever way you look at it. The one decisive difference between the two sides is Josh Barrett's low drive from inside the area through a few players, crowd of players. Aldershot ready in their substitutions. Corner into the far post, headed away again by Dean, only as far away as Ryan Hill. Spreads it back to Barrett. Barrett's going to shape for a cross. Now he's continuing into the penalty area. Crosses into the far post. Oh! And Ben Jackson's up there. So too was Charlie Penman, and one of them headed it over the bar. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, I think it was Penman.
Yeah.
Whoever it was, I think it was Penman. He immediately fell to the floor and put his hands on his head, knowing that he should have got that one on target at the very least. Really good play down the right hand side from Josh Barrett, just kidding on that he was going to cross it, then going again to the byline, standing up, an excellent cross. In the end, something of a free header, should have been on target.
Okay, Aldershot are going to make a double change. First off is Tristan Abrahams to be replaced by Hadi Gandor, and then Jed Meerholtz is going to come on, and he's going to come on in the left centre back position, I think, is he? To replace Charlie Penman, who has just been shown a yellow card, and Meerholtz will be a like for like swap. So no change in shape or formation for the shots. Gandor has come on to great effect in all his substitute appearances in the last 2 or 3 weeks. He has assisted a goal in 2 of the games, and he's then come on and scored one at Gateshead, of course, to get Aldershot level at 3-3, following up Josh Barrett's free kick that hit the post.
Yeah, valuable member of the Aldershot Town squad, whether starting or coming on, and any sort of tiring defence, and he will run them ragged.
Little is going to take this free kick for Brackley, hangs it up towards the far post, a little knockdown towards goal, and then comes off Connor. Well, I thought Connor Hall maybe got an outstretched foot onto it, played it off of Archie Taylor. It's gone behind the Shots goal. It'll be a corner. They may yet go on to prevail with all 3 points Shots today. They've got a precious lead, but they're going to have some defending to do at times against a robust and experienced Brackley side. In it comes to the area. The referee has spotted something, a coming together between Gazdeen and Ben Jackson, and he's shown Ben Jackson a second yellow and given a penalty. Steve Gibbs. I don't think Jackson's been. I didn't realise he'd been yellow carded previously.
I'm not sure that he has. It looked like a straight red to me. He had. I'm told he has been booked, but that's inexplicable for me. Clearly, the referee has seen something that I haven't, because it's a coming together. But for it to be a penalty, okay, one thing. But for it to be a yellow card, I'm not quite sure. And now once again, Aldershot Town find themselves at a numerical disadvantage, and Brackley have a chance to equalise from the spot.
Wow, things you didn't expect to see happening. What we are going to see is Brackley step up to take this penalty as we strike 65 minutes. The Shots with a precious 1-0 lead, but they've had Ben Jackson sent off. And now Brackley step up and send it into the corner. Shane Byrne makes no mistake. Dewhurst goes the right way, but he's beaten, and the Shots now find themselves down to 10 men and level at 1-1.
Yeah, excellent penalty from Shane Byrne. He normally goes to the right hand side, but that one was driven right into the bottom corner. Marcus Dewhurst went the right way but couldn't get near it. And now, in adversity, the Shots have to go again, assert their quality, but Brackley now have something to hold on to, and that massed ranks of that defence. They have a man extra, and they've got all of the organisation that they've shown. Can the Shots come back again? They've proved time and again, particularly on Wednesday night at Truro, that a numerical disadvantage doesn't have to mean they're down and out.
They're building an attack here, and Barrett's been dispossessed after good work from Kwame Thomas and Theo Widrington. And to have to see out the final 24 minutes of another game after doing so on Wednesday, after travelling to Gateshead and Truro, this is a big ask now for the Shots. The game they look relatively comfortable in, 11 against 11, is now all square, and they are down to 10. Brackley playing it across the back line. Tetek does well to get a foot in, but he can only divert it. And Brackley now will have their tails up. Ball down the right side. Meerholtz should get there first in front of Lowe, does, and does well, and clears up towards halfway, where Morrison can't keep it in. It's into touch. Throw into Aldershot, 5 yards inside their own half. Yeah, Ben Jackson was indeed booked in the 20th minute, the first yellow card of the game. We completely missed it. Apologies, listeners. So we were rather dumbfounded when A penalty was given, and B, a second yellow. Here's Archie Taylor taking the ball beautifully in his stride again. Goes back to Tetek. Tetek with the ball down the right side. Oh, that's brilliant. Into the penalty area. Josh Barrett. Oh, he tries an attempt. It's quickly blocked by Morgan Roberts, and it's a corner. Wonderful ball and wonderfully taken, and Barrett's not happy with something, I don't know what, but well defended by Brackley. Corner to shots.
Yeah, really good play. Tetek been outstanding this afternoon, and that was an excellent ball, and Barrett for a second thought he was in, getting ready to pull the trigger and fire a shot on goal, but in the end, yeah, Morgan Roberts had done his defensive diligence and tracked back the two number 10s in direct combat. Barrett takes the corner, it's deep.
In it comes, and clutched by the goalkeeper. Thank you, Steve. Unopposed, he falls to the ground. Still a little bit of late afternoon, early evening sunshine here, but the floodlights are burning more brightly now. Interesting situation, stick or twist, and we know what Tommy Widgerton does in these situations. He twists every time.
Oh, yeah.
He'll still keep two up top, that's for sure. But Barrett will be deeper. He's fouled on halfway here by Shane Byrne, and the referee gives nothing more than a free kick. But Byrne is on a yellow card as well, and the referee's doing him a favour by not listening to his protestations. Free kick to Aldershot just inside their own half. Is there a way to still go on and win this game? They are level. We've got 21 minutes left. They take the free kick short. Tetek into Widrington. Widrington's been dispossessed, and now it's 4 against 3 for Brackley. Sent out to the left side. Roberts has got it. He's into the area. In it comes. One in the air by Meerholz and caught by Dewhurst. And Aldershot need to be so careful. Down to 10 men, and they played it short from the free kick, and they're very nearly made to pay a hefty price. Here they play it down the left side. Kwame Thomas is onto it. It's played into touch by Brackley. By Morrison. Taken by Hill, the throw. Tetek gets it back. Hill goes down, and he wins a free kick. Gav Cowan is hopping mad, literally, in front of us. Then as a subsequent conversation with Ryan Hill, Aldershot have the free kick, and this time they will elect to send the ball into the penalty area. Connor Hall's complaining that the free kick's not been taken from the right place, or not being positioned in the right place. If you've joined us late, Aldershot 1-0 up and looking pretty much on course for a win. All of a sudden, second yellow for Ben Jackson, penalty given against him. Byrne converts 1-1. Here's the free kick from Aldershot, cleared away once again. First contact from Brackley from Matt Lowe. Into touch though, finds Taylor, takes it, finds Hadi Gandor. Gandor goes back to Taylor. Taylor back to Meerholz. Meerholz inside to Tetek. Tetek to Gandor, and Gandor back to Meerholz into the 71st minute, or we're well into it. Ball into Theo Widgerton, turns it immediately around the corner, being chased by Barrett. Can he keep it in play? He can. He hooks it back in, headed away by Brackley, and very nearly straight at Tetek, but he gets a foot on it and finds Archie Taylor. Taylor down the right side, ball into Gandor, sharp turn on the edge of the penalty area, foot in from Brackley, wins possession, and they clear up towards halfway. Aldershot are going to be so prone to the counter-attack on the transition, but here's the ball spread out to the far side, and Hill goes to ground, wins it really well, and then he's fouled from behind. Ryan Hill positioning himself well, working so hard for the team, and then Theo Widgerton takes the free kick. Connor Hall's in the way. In the old days, that was always a yellow card. The referee having shown 6 or 7 today, probably doesn't want to show it, and doesn't. Widgerton complains, Theo, and Meerholz will eventually take this free kick to the back line. headed up and away by Morrison, on by Bailey Hobson, flicked up with his heel by Widrington. Ball bounces down into the path of Tetek. Tetek plays it to Gandor on the edge of the area, looks to do a return pass. He can't find his teammate, but Gandor is almost onto it. Bailey Hobson has the ball. He looks to play it up to the back line. Early jump from the Aldershot player. Claridge does really well. Taylor tidies up, finds Meerholtz. Meerholtz finds Hill to Meerholtz, and now Theo Widrington, Aldershot player, inside left channel up to Gandor, takes it nicely, turns his man. Oh, he's wrong-footed him. He's now going up against Morrison, making his way to the byline, tries to get the ball in. Excellent stuff from Hadi Gandor. He's won the corner for shots yet again, coming on and getting straight to the level of the game.
Absolutely, yeah. He brings that energy, that impetus, that drive, and yeah, did really, really well.
Corner then to the shots at the East Bank end, 1-1, but they're down to 10 men. Again, Barrett, right-footed in swinger towards the far post. Archie Taylor might get up, he heads towards goal, but it's straight into the gloves of Johnny Maxted. 1-1, 73 minutes gone. Huge clearance from Maxted, one in the air by Shane Byrne, and Archie Taylor's quickly onto that. He'll show good footwork to escape the onrushing Morgan Roberts and sends it forward to Ryan Hill, who's very central and deep at the moment still from that corner. Tetek to Meerholtz inside to Kwame Thomas, holds it up. Aldershot still. Tetek slips, and the ball's been picked up by Lowe. Brackley with the counter-attack down the right hand side to Hobson. Hobson sends it into the far post. Roberts looks to head it back inside. Theo Widrington's well positioned to clear forward. It's picked up by Shane Byrne. He's been shut down by Gandor, but he manages to find Calder. Calder running to the edge of the penalty area, tries to get his cross in. It's cut out by Archie Taylor, and it's a corner to the visitors. We've got 16 minutes left. It's 1-1. The shot's down to 10 men. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, Brackley are sensing that not only could they get a point from this game, might they actually get something more, showing increasing attacking intent and also increasing attacking dividends as well. Now both sides are ready to make a substitution.
Before that substitution, the corner will be taken. 1-1, shots down to 10. It's played short and then back, and then the cross comes in. A little flick towards goal, followed up. Archie Taylor gets his foot on it just before Morgan Roberts, and then I think Ryan Hill goes down. He's taken it in his face, has he? And a free kick has been given for Aldershot. Let's just see what's happened there, Steve. I'm not quite sure what the referee signalled. He's had a decent. He says that Ryan Hill's got to get some treatment. I think some blood may have been drawn to his face. It will restart with an Aldershot free kick. Will it? I mean, looking at the way the Brackley players are positioned, I think they're just questioning, a lot of them, what the reason is for the free kick. They're going to bring on Scott Pollock, and Aldershot are going to bring on Ryan Jones.
And it looks like James Henry as well.
Yeah, James Henry.
He's partly giving the coaching instructions to Ryan Jones and preparing himself to come on as well.
Yeah, and I think the two players also came on late in that game at Truro when the shots were also reduced. Connor Hall goes off to be replaced by Scott Pollock.
Yeah, that's a midfielder for a striker. Although Pollock can play in a more attacking midfield role, but it does look like he has kind of gone up front alongside Lowe, but is more of an attacking midfielder.
Interestingly, Ryan Hill came to the side for some water and has been allowed back on, so maybe if you don't get treatment but you just go and get something at the side, you are able to carry on. He carries on now, he heads the ball forward, it's headed back by Byrne. Theo Widrington arrives a little bit late there, and the two players clash heads, and the physios of both teams rush on. I think he just slightly mistimed the jump, Theo Widrington. Was going for the ball clearly, but he's come together with a Brackley player, and both players receiving treatment, and it looks as though both players are conscious, and that's so important after the horrendous scenes at Eastleigh in the week.
Absolutely, yeah. Whichever player is hurt on whichever team, absolutely cannot take any chances with even a potential head injury. But yeah, Theo, I think a clash of heads. Theo went very aggressively to win the header with Roberts, and both players are slow to get up, but are sitting up now, taking on some water, and it's Theo who's first to his feet, and he just goes over to check on Roberts, who is also now back to his feet, and hopefully both are fit to continue.
I mentioned to you off air earlier, Steve, that a Wealdstone player had been stretchered off in the game at Scunthorpe, of which it looked as if Scunthorpe had come from behind to win 2-1. That game has been abandoned again, second consecutive scenario there in the week where that's happened. Delighted to say that both the Brackley and the Aldershot Town players here are okay after that coming together, and the referee, I think sensibly, hasn't given any more than a free kick to Brackley. James Henry still waits to come on, so too does Ryan Jones. 1-1, 12 minutes left, shots down to 10. But we know from recent history that doesn't necessarily affect their desire to go on and take what they can from a game. On Wednesday it was a point ultimately in a hugely adverse situation, finishing the game with 9 players at 8 effectively, because Will Morrison was completely unable to, barely walk actually, let alone run. Goal kick now to Aldershot as Brackley have overplayed on the right hand side. Widdrington and Morgan Roberts come back on, none the worse for wear. That's great to see. We now have 11 minutes left in a game that's 1-1, but 11 against 10 in Brackley's favour. Dewhurst steps forward. Kwame Thomas battling, can't win it cleanly. Byrne hooks it forward. Claridge heads it back. Brackley win it in the air again, but only as far as Hill. Hill gets the ball under control, shows it one way then the other, thinks about a return pass to his goalkeeper, then doesn't, then does. Goes back to Dewhurst, and Dewhurst kicks long and into touch, and Aldershot now, with a throw in for Brackley on around about the halfway mark, can make a double substitution. First of all, Ryan Hill is coming off to be replaced by Ryan Jones. And then I'd imagine Barrett for Henry, would you? Yeah, Barrett.
Looks like it.
Yeah, Barrett coming off. Having scored his second goal of the season, his 9th goal involvement in 8 games. His afternoon's done. He won't want to come off, but he'll understand it. And James Henry, who came on late in midweek and took that late penalty for shots to become their 13th goal scorer across 20 goals. They're stuck on 1 for the day, 21 for the season. Brackley, though, will fancy their chances of getting themselves a late winner here. Here in possession with the substitute, Scott Pollock. Send it out to the left-hand side. Calder's got it. He's up against Taylor. Cross comes in. Is headed up and beyond the far post. Brackley will keep it in play. And then it's an attempted cross from Little. Blocked by Meerholtz behind the goal. Brackley approaching double figures for corners. And we're in the 81st minute. Corner for Brackley. They may shape up to take it short. They were interested, but now Little's going to take Ryan Jones for a run, and Aldershot are going to go 1-on-1 up top as Morgan Roberts sends the ball in. It's missed and ends up in the net. Dewhurst came, couldn't collect, and it's been bundled in, and I think it might be Shane Byrne again, you know, Steve, that's bundled it home at the far post. In the 82nd minute, it is Aldershot Town 1, Brackley 2.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be much danger. There seemed to be enough shots defenders around. Marcus Dewhurst was on the scene. He's protesting either to the referee or to Tommy Widdrington that he feels he was impeded. He didn't get there, whatever the cause of it. And then the ball was bundled in, and It's Brackley who have a late lead. Dewhurst wasn't able to get off the ground. The ball squirted beyond the near post to the far, and it's Lowe who's claiming it, bundling it in on the line ahead of the defender. A sloppy goal for the Shots to concede, but
Matt Lowe with the goal, not Shane Byrne.
Yeah, Brackley have played really well this afternoon. Whether they deserve their lead or not, they will not care, because I think their game plan has been superb.
Here's Gandor finding James Henry, looks up, can't see a player in a red shirt, has to about turn and eventually goes back to Claridge. Aldershot find themselves from 1-0 up to 2-1 down with 10 men. Sound familiar? We've got 8 minutes left. On Wednesday we know what they did. Can they do the impossible again? Here's Kwame Thomas holding it up. Jones sends the ball inside to Henry. Henry will send it out to the right side to Taylor, who takes the ball on the front foot again, runs towards goal, plays it into Taylor. Taylor looking for the return ball to Gandor. Is he pulled down? He falls down inside the penalty area, nothing given. Aldershot win it well through Claridge. James Henry rolls it into the feet of an Aldershot player. Can't find him. It comes back to Henry. Henry goes back to Theo Widrington. Henry to Jones. Ryan, of course, these days. Aaron's at Sutton. Tetek, ball down the left, and Henry might get to this by the byline, looks to square it back. It is Archie Taylor's shot, and in! He's done it again! Little Archie Taylor! And Aldershot have done it again. They've gone down to 10 men, they've conceded twice and they've come back level. We've got 6.5 minutes left. Aldershot have scored 2 goals in a game for the 8th game running. And it's Aldershot Town 2, Brackley 2.
Brilliant. Archie Taylor, again, buying a ticket and winning the lottery. James Henry's pullback seemed to go too far. You thought, where's the player coming in? But then it went all the way across, almost to the edge of the D, the far edge of the D, and then Taylor with his left foot sweeps it in.
Little deflection.
Took a slight deflection, but he will not care. It took it past Maxted, in at the near post. Why do they make it so difficult for themselves?
4 goals in the game again at the EBB. Aldershot's last 2 results, 3-all and 2-all. They're now back at 2-all, but Lowe's on the attack, sends it into the area. Surely Aldershot can't do the unthinkable, can they? Here's Henry receiving the ball, going forward. Brackley stunned, shell-shocked. Henry sends the ball forward, that's too straight. Gandor with a willing run, but it goes through to Johnny Maxted, and Archie Taylor with his 2nd goal of the season, and James Henry joins the assist club.
Yeah, the pullback was superb in the end, but it seemed to go too far. You're waiting for either a deep lying attacker or one of the midfielders making that late run into the box.
Here come Brackley, they're offside actually. Meerholtz gets there first anyway. But I'm literally almost out of words to describe this football team now. That means we've had 39 goals in 8 matches that are not even yet complete this season. Fair play to Brackley, by the way, for coming on and taking on Aldershot Town on the front foot themselves. It's been a just as enjoyable a game as many others. It's not been the game we expected. From a Brackley point of view, I think they're well worthy of a point, but I agree with you as Kwame Thomas wins a free kick, being held by Gazdeen, and here are Aldershot trailing 2-1, down to 10 men, now back level at 2-all. 86 minutes gone. I've got a free kick here which James Henry or Ryan Jones can send deep into the heart of the Brackley area. Not quite sure why Ryan Jones is staying where he is. If James Henry is going to take this, a decoy maybe, just trying to make a bit more room in the box. Okay, 2-all, 87th minute. Henry sweeps the ball in, straight to the goalkeeper, but he only punches away, and no foul given. He punches away and then collides with his own player. When we restart, it'll be a throw into Aldershot. Johnny Maxted's down and needs treatment. It's because he was in contact with his own player.
and that includes 70 visiting supporters.
Well, I guess earlier before the match I said 70 Brackley fans. It is exactly 70 in a crowd of 2,240. Good afternoon to a couple of people who've messaged throughout the afternoon, whose messages I haven't got to. One of those was Tony Matthews, who said he'd not been listening, he forgot, but then he tuned in and Aldershot scored. Well, a lot's happened since then. They conceded 2, had a man sent off, scored again, and now they have a throw in with Ryan Jones. Long one in from the left, headed away by Brackley, and it'll only find touch. Danny Waldron is going to come on at some point in the next couple of minutes for Brackley, the former Southend and I think Rushall Olympic striker from memory. 2.5 minutes of the 90 left. In comes another throw from Jones. It's headed this time behind by Gazdeen. Corner to the shots. They couldn't, Steve, could they?
This is Aldershot Town, of course they could.
Henry to take. Theo Widrington shows for the short ball. He's now turning and running away again. Now Tetek showing. One arm in the air though. James Henry sends it in. It's headed away at the near post. Hooked back by Tetek. Can Henry keep it in? He can. Down by the corner flag. Lovely first touch. Plays it back looking for Tetek, but it's been won by Pollock. Pollock's though only played it to James Henry. You wouldn't know Aldershot have only got 10 men. You really wouldn't. Here's Ryan Jones going down the left. Can he get his cross in? Yes, he can. Oh, big header away from Brackley. Henry's there. Steers it out to the right-hand side where Archie Taylor tries to get it under control. Holds it up. Ball round the corner to Gandor. He's having his shirt pulled, but keeps possession. Turns one way, then the other. Goes back to Taylor. Taylor's on the touchline. Tight for space. Plays it inside to Gandor, touches it for Henry. Henry down the right, looks to get the cross in, cut behind, another corner to the shots. What wonderful entertainment, what crazy drama. 2-2. Henry to take the corner. Red Army is the cry from the East Bank faithful. Tommy Widrington, one hand on his hip, one hand on a bottle of water, sipping it, watches on, helpless really. In it comes from Henry, headed towards goal by Kwame Thomas, and then bounces loose in the area. Johnny Maxted can come and get it, he's got it. We're in the 90th minute, rolls it out to Kyle Morrison. Morrison's got Gandor chasing him, ball down the left side. Meerholtz does well to get there in front of Pollock, but Pollock gets the second touch, holding it up on the right touchline. Aldershot win it, no foul. Tetek coming away with the ball. Henry's inside of him, if he can find him. Theo Widrington plays it back to Tetek. Tetek plays it forward looking for Henry, but he can't find him. Brackley, all hands on deck. They know they've got the extra man. They all now show for it. But here comes Bailey Hobson on the edge of the final third. Sends it out. Roberts got it inside the box. Twists, turns, plays it back. Shot comes in. It's wide. Goal kick to Aldershot Town. 90 minutes and 6 seconds were on the clock at the time.
Is number 32, James Claridge.
Aldershot Town's James Claridge has been given the official man of the match. We'll get Steve Gibbs at some point towards the end of this. Danny Waldron is going to come on for Brackley. He is going to replace Morgan Roberts.
Yeah, it's a target man for a number 10. Waldron and Roberts had formed a really good partnership throughout this season, but they won't get on together. But Waldron now, possibly for his strength and his height as Aldershot Town, end the game in the ascendancy.
Goal kick from Marcus Dewhurst. Sorry, how many added minutes have we got?
I don't know, I didn't see.
That's not been seen. I don't think it's gone up yet, even though it's a minute late. But here's Ryan Jones.
Nobody has seen the fourth officials board, so we're into unknown territory.
And he doesn't even seem to have the board in his hand.
Someone is saying 6.
Okay, thank you very much. Cheers. Okay, we are a minute and a half into a minimum of 6 added minutes. Shots have got 2 goals and 10 men. Brackley have got 2 goals and 11 men. Aldershot Town have equalled a club record of scoring in the first 8 games of the season. in their inaugural season, I'm told, 1992. But at the moment they're battling for a point or 3 against Brackley. Here's Meerholtz playing it forward. Kwame Thomas touches it into the path of James Henry. Henry holds it up. Brackley got plenty of players back, spreads it out to the right side. Good spot from Henry, finds Archie Taylor free. Widry calls for an early ball in, it comes in. Arms up maybe from Henry, half cleared. No foul given. Meerholtz battling away with Waldron, who's just come onto the pitch. Little's in possession, sends it inside to Byrne. Byrne gives it back to him. Little sends it down the right side. Meerholtz and Waldron, it's a shove, a little shoulder from Waldron, but the ball runs into touch anyway. Aldershot Town aren't thinking about how tired they are, they're still thinking about just trying to get this ball and create another chance to try and go on and pick up more pointage in adversity. Not a saying probably I've ever said before.
This team doesn't have a reverse gear. They don't know how to go backwards, how to try and hold on to what they've got.
Flick on from Kwame Thomas, finds Gandor, comes off of Gandor, into touch. Throw into Brackley just inside their own half. And we've had 3 of the minimum of 6 minutes to be added. It's still 2-2, and the shots have 10 men. Meerholtz wins the header, but he can only find Pollock. Pollock goes back to Little to Byrne. Byrne forward, and Claridge cuts the ball out. Henry has got the ball. Now Archie Taylor arrows it out towards Thomas. He can't win it in the air, but the header down is up towards Low. Claridge has left it. Meerholtz tidies up and goes back to Meerholtz. And Aldershot lose possession on halfway again. Brackley down the left side, being held up by Waldron. He's being shackled by Claridge. He goes back to Byrne. Byrne twisting, turning, and they've got possession, but they're still being well pressed by the 10 men of Aldershot Town, and 4 of the 6 minimum added minutes have been added. Now Morrison sends it down the right side looking for Pollock. Pollock holds it up, and they're giving it away, and Gandor's got it. He's got Ryan Jones running ahead of him. He sends it into Tetek to Kwame Thomas, just on the edge of the area, threads it back across again, and Tetek into the path of Archie Taylor, who then loses it but runs where the ball goes to, and then he's fouled, and into the final 90 seconds of time added on, Aldershot Town have got a free kick halfway between the penalty area and the touchline, about 10 yards or so out from goal. Well done Archie Taylor. He quickly realised he wasn't going to get that, and he ran to where the ball was going. Such intelligence.
Yeah, Aldershot Town so very nearly messed that up. Too many cooks when they could have played a decisive ball into the box, but a free kick I think was about the best they could have hoped for.
James Henry sends in the free kick, and a header down and then loose. Appeals for a penalty, nothing given. Pretty desperate ones, I think. Then a ball bowled forward towards Meerholtz. He just volleys it back to the other end, touched on by Widrington. Kwame Thomas sticks out a foot but can't win it. Ball up now towards Brackley there. Low is pulled down from behind by Meerholtz. Free kick to Brackley. Aldershot with some very tired bodies. Kwame Thomas starts the slow jog back. Brackley send it inside through Byrne to Calder. We are into the final 20 seconds of a minimum of 6 to be added. 2-2, shots down to 10. Brackley send it out to the right side. Little chests it down, looks to send it in. Tetek should get onto it. He clears it, or he plays it back to Ryan Jones. Jones finds Tetek. Tetek carries on his run. He's bundled off the ball. No foul, says the referee. Bailey Hobson picks the ball up. He's going to square it across, and it's parried away, headed back towards goal, and then caught by Dewhurst. A double save. The second one was really only collecting the ball. Time is up. Dewhurst kicks forward. Aldershot battle for it. Ryan Jones onto the ball on halfway. Still they come forward. Gandor up against Morrison. Gandor to the byline, tries to get the cross in, does. Thomas with the header is just wide. Aldershot Town still making chances. There goes the final whistle. What a game, what a team, guts, determination, and they never know they've been beaten, and they haven't been beaten. They've got a 5th game unbeaten, their 3rd consecutive score draw. Aldershot Town 2, Brackley 2 with 10 men. Steve Gibbs.
The point barely seems sufficient for either team really in the circumstances. Huge credit to both teams, to both managers, committing bodies forward until the final seconds. In injury time, both teams could have won it, both teams could have lost it because of that willingness to throw bodies forward into attack. Breathless, a phrase I used earlier in the game, glorious chaos, what entertainment. Huge credit to both teams. Aldershot Town though can't keep doing things the hard way. This was a game there that was there to be won. They make it difficult for themselves, but somehow they pull themselves away from danger, get themselves out of jail when all seems lost. Seemingly put so many self-inflicted obstacles in front of themselves, but they managed to hurdle them. They managed to overcome that adversity. And in the end, both teams will probably feel that a point is scant reward for their endeavours, that they should have claimed all 3. But in the end, it doesn't really matter because it was great entertainment. And that's what football's all about. And it's a point to the total for both teams. And it's credit to both teams and loads of positives to take. The Aldershot Town again have had to drag themselves up from the canvas when they seem to be out for the count, and they've managed to rescue themselves a point again for the 2nd time in 4 days when all seemed lost. And it's credit to Brackley, who've come to the free scoring, the top scorers in the country, Aldershot Town, and they've claimed the point. And it's another point to their total on their journey into the unknown, their first season at this level, and both teams can be proud of their efforts this afternoon. Before a national audience, they've served up an absolute cracker, a topsy-turvy, full of drama game, and honours even. What an afternoon, what an early evening.
Crazy stuff. I think a difficult one to pick the man of the match. I think there's 2 or 3 really strong candidates.
I've got one.
If I miss anybody out, then please do. But putting a little group together, I think you certainly got to mention Archie Taylor. I think you certainly got to mention James Claridge. You got the official one, and I think you got to mention Dayan Tetek. I don't know whether you've got a 4th, but for me, the man of the match would come from them 3. What's your thoughts?
Archie Taylor. He's claimed Aldershot Town a point with a really fine, composed finish, and he's been exemplary in everything he has done this afternoon. Defensively and creatively, he's been brilliant. Tetek in dispatches, very prominently in dispatches, was a close second to Taylor. He was superb and showed the quality that he has got. And yeah, Claridge as well, I think, was very much 3rd in that top 3, but deserves a mention. But overall, it's the spirit of Aldershot Town that has shone through, not knowing when to lie down and go, okay, you've got the better of us this afternoon, but we'll be back. They just don't know how to accept defeat. They don't have a reverse gear, and that will serve them well.
Pushed on for a winner, didn't they?
Yeah.
They weren't even
in pushing for a winner. They could so easily have lost it, but that's by the law of averages, you're better off winning one and losing one rather than just playing for a draw. But that's just not in Tommy's makeup in playing for a draw.
the referee, Steve, was, and his officials were booed off at the end, not with a vociferity, I can't find the word, but not as vociferously, there we go, as they were by a smaller number of people on Wednesday night. And I'm tempted to say it's a little bit unfair, but whilst we feel that he's conducted himself pretty well throughout the game and been, handled the game pretty well, let it flow, not wanting to be the centre of attention, we are pretty clueless, aren't we, you and I, as to what the penalty was given for on the second yellow card.
Having seen something of a replay, and the camera wasn't focused on the incident, it only picked up the aftermath of the incident, and it was Jackson sprawling to the floor, arms outstretched, Dean sitting there half appealing, and then the incredulity and then anger from Jackson when he discovers the decision. I think if you've committed a foul, or if you think, okay, there's been a tussle,
you're likely skulk off.
The real incredulity and anger from Jackson suggests that he didn't know what the decision was.
I'm glad you stopped yourself there. And of course, being a second yellow, it can't be appealed. What I will say, as an observation, is that Gareth Dean has been around a long time. We talked before the game about he and Byrne and Lowe have got to... Okay. All right, sorry listeners, I'm not quite sure we're getting I don't know if that was to me or to the other guy behind, just some notice about the post-match, I think. Remind me where we were, sorry.
About the penalty decision. I think to Brackley's credit, and this will sound like a backhanded compliment, I think they did really well all afternoon to initiate the contact. It was maybe they who were the initial aggressor or made the initial contact, and then they won the free kick. I think they did that really, really well all afternoon, and that's probably another example in winning the penalty, where there's been contact and they've done really well to appear the wronged party.
That's what I was going to say. I was talking about Gareth Dean, wasn't he? Very cute, very clever. We talked about it pre-match, how the Nelson experience of those players in particular. There was at least 3 or 4 occasions today where players in tussles with Gareth Dean looked absolutely gobsmacked as to why fouls had been given. And I just think he knows how to handle himself in those situations. Very cute, very clever. And it is what it is. Aldershot will pick through how they could have won that game. It's pretty obvious how they could have lost it too. I've just been asked in a message by somebody how many red cards is that, and I replied 4, and then I corrected myself and said no, it's 3, because obviously Dewhurst has been rescinded. But in terms of while they're out there playing, it's 4, isn't it? They've had to finish on Thursday. It
is, however, yes, Marcus's was rescinded. This afternoon's the veracity of it, we don't yet know, because even with television help, we can't see what the incident was. All I'm going on is Ben Jackson's what looked like a pretty honest reaction of, what happened, ref? I didn't do anything. And yes, he might be a good actor. Yes, he might have committed a foul and not really known about it. But the real honest reaction on his face suggested that it maybe wasn't a foul. But again, Aldershot Town have dug themselves into a hole, and they've somehow pulled themselves out of it, or partially pulled themselves out of it. And that spirit over the course of the season will earn them more points than it will lose them. And that is great credit to the players and to the management.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Steve. We'll let you get on and finish your match report for the non-league paper. Aldershot,
try and make sense of it all.
Aldershot and Brackley both have 9 points now. The Shots, due to that better goal difference, +5, are in 13th place. For perspective, that is 3 points off of the playoffs and 3 points clear of the bottom 4. Post-match to come, hopefully from Tommy Widgington. It would be good to speak to him. I think it's, for one reason or another, and different reasons, it's been Hugo Langton for the last 3 games, but we'll try and get post-match from him and from one of the Aldershot Town players. Look out for that on BBC Surrey Twitter feed. But other than that, we are going to I'll give it a couple of minutes, listeners. I'll give it a couple of minutes to see if any member of the Aldershot Town management team comes up. If not, I'm going to pack up the equipment and get it on my phone. Oh wow, yeah, lovely. I didn't realise you were still there. Brilliant. Yeah, of course. Thinking about it, you would be, wouldn't you? You can't just switch off and go home. But I was kind of thinking, how hard will I push for a player? Because it might be difficult even to get one interview up, But hopefully it'll be Tommy today. Sorry about that misunderstanding. Go on. Sorry, mate. Yeah. And it's so similar. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Hopefully Tommy comes today, but we'll see. Yeah, I think we're in a difficult position as well here because it's unusual this, and even it was down this end at the High Street end, but neither Steve or I have really got much of a clue. If it was or wasn't a foul and a penalty, and if it was or wasn't a second yellow. And so, whilst we feel that overall the referee's had a fairly good game, even though he has ended up showing about 7 yellow cards and the red, it's difficult for us to have an opinion. We'll have to try and draw it out of somebody. But it's just ridiculous that they go on scoring 2 goals a game. So they've equalled that club record. I mean, maybe that needs to be in the headline. I don't know. Aldershot Town equalled a club record held since 1992 of scoring at least 2 goals. Yeah. Oh, we're unbeaten as a station today. All right. Oh, I should think so. Yeah, I mean, I feel so lucky to get to commentate on this team this season right now. I'm not sure at what point it's going to end. That's 30, I'm losing count, 39 goals in 8 games. And they've scored... Thanks very much. Yeah, that's what we needed. Ian Abrahams sat next to us writing on a bit of paper. This one's got 0-0 written all over it. That would have opened the... Yeah, it wasn't what we expected today, to be fair. We thought Brackley might come and sit in and just try and hit us on the break, but no, they were as on the front foot as Aldershot were, so fair play to him for that. Right, I'll stand by. I'll keep the line open so you can get Tommy or Hugo on the rot. I can tell you Hugo is doing the DAZN one right now, so I'd imagine it's going to be Hugo. I don't think you'll need to rewrite your piece. Yes. Who are you doing? Because it always go for the same one. Oh. Hang on one sec. Just give me 10 seconds. Andrew, what have we got coming up? How badly do you need a player, or should we just get management? Just management, no player. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you, mate. Sometimes it's a common sense decision to do that, to be honest. I'll make sure I get some look ahead to what is it, Carlisle away. I'll have to preempt. Oh no, Gates said Truro and then Carlisle. I'm going to have to preempt with him before the interview that, or I'll mention that they've got Hampshire Cup in the week as well. But you won't be previewing that. So. Just one sec. No, that's why I'll speak to him before we do it. Yeah, I'll speak to him before we do it. That's fine. Okay, Sorry, mate. I think it was just a random one Hugo did the first game, and then I think there's been very contentious decisions, and maybe Tommy doesn't trust himself, I don't know. Hugo's a lot calmer in the situation, so. That said, it's getting pretty frustrating now if this is a fourth game on the trot, not hearing from the manager. I'm not aware that there's any issue or fallout.
He didn't do any programme notes today.
Yeah, I guess that was a timescale thing. Maybe missed the deadline, I'm not sure. He's got to do about 4, I think, because I think he's got National League as well down there now. Unless Steve's cracking on and doing it. I'm not quite sure why, because he wasn't asked to, but Steve Gibbs, who's down by the dugouts, has grabbed Hugo as he's come away from his DAZN interview. So he may be doing it, in which case I'll have to get him to WhatsApp it to you. I'm sorry about that, but I didn't ask him to do that. And maybe there's a reason why. I don't know if Hugo's got to get away or something and he's down there and they've just agreed. I'm not precious about it, but he may or may not be coming up to the point. Steve would normally just get a quote for the non-league paper. That's his responsibility, but I shall let you know as soon as possible. Obviously, if that is it, then I'll get Steve to send it straight over. The thing is, it's very important that. Have you any idea why Steve started an interview? I didn't ask him to do the BBC one. Okay, maybe he wants to do his own one today, just to mean that Hugo's got like 5 to do or something. But he doesn't normally do that. He normally tags on to yours or mine, doesn't he? Okay.
See you, mate. You're keeping it, you're not.
At least you were thoroughly into it. You'd have been miffed, wouldn't you, if we had all the goals and controversy. Yeah. We'll see you later in the season somewhere, Sam.
You're not on the zone in this month soon, are you? The next batch of matches. We haven't got we've got anything at the moment. It's been like 2019. Thank you very much.
Take care, Sam. See you soon.